Hey everybody, this is Joel, and I'm here in my hot pink bedroom with the black polka dots to talk to you today about product branding in the Dryden Experiment. Um, this is sort of a nuts and bolts video, and it's sort of technical for people who are already involved, and so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about how our universe works or where it came from. But we have a kind of an issue in that we are really, really broadly distributed. We have a lot of people who create things in Dryden who go on and self-publish them. We have Owlman Press who's developing. We have Dryden House, which is developing. We have whoever Dan's working with. One of these days, I'll remember to ask Dan who he's working with. And all of these different people are bringing things into the market that share the common idea of the Dryden Experiment and are meant to be in the Dryden Experiment universe. And for our shared marketing reach to work, outsiders, people looking on Amazon need to be able to recognize that what you have created is a part of the Dryden Experiment, so that if they aren't a follower, they'll learn about the Dryden Experiment, and if they are a follower, they'll know to pick up what it is that you are doing. It also helps those of us inside the Dryden Experiment to be able to identify things and know to cross-promote them. If you publish something on your own and you call it Doug's Publishing and it's a Dryden Experiment story, I'm never going to know it, and I'm never going to help you promote it. So sorry, Doug. These things happen, man. So this is a video about how to make sure that no matter who you are and where you are in the Dryden Experiment, when you put something into market, you get the flags on it so that we can recognize it and we can help you cross-promote it. We, in order to take advantage of that larger than the sum of our parts marketing reach, we have to be able to recognize each other's work and have folks who are not us recognize each other's work. All right, I said the same thing twice. So I'm going to talk about two different things, really in a way kind of three different things. The first one that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the logos. Gavin Revitt designed for us an absolutely fabulous sort of dynamic D shape. It looks like the front sail off of a ship or something. It's this really energetic, moving shape. It's very busy, and he's already started riffing on it. He's done several different things with it. He, we have this sort of gray and black Dryden Experiment, dun dun dun. That's the sort of the standard, but then just immediately, like, he got into the Codex 2 logo, and it's still that big D, but it's this bright, glowing oranges and silvers, and it looks like something out of a disco. It's just this fabulous image with the multicolored lettering. It's a great image. And he's also done some stuff like for Tracy Vincent, who's starting the romance and erotica sections for us. He's done Dryden Scarlet and Dryden Rose logos for her. And what I want to convey to you is I think that D is really important to making sure that we and other people can identify what it is that you've created. Now, I want you to feel completely free to riff on it. I want you to take that D logo and slap it in the middle of the alien's forehead on the cover of your book. I want it, built into the stonework on the lighthouse. I want Dryden Geist Marines to have a tank tread going all the way around the D. Riff on it, have fun with it, but remember that D is the home base. That's the image that we use to make sure that no matter what it is, we know it's in the Dryden Experiment. So if you put it on the back cover, if you make it a part of the cover, however you do it, help us recognize you by using that D. The link to the main set will be below. It's also on the author and artist page. Then the other thing that I really encourage people to do, and there seems to be a little bit of hesitancy sometimes for folks to do, put right on the product. If it's a boxed game, or if it's a computer game, put it right on the HTML code on the website. Put it on the front of the book, A Dryden Experiment. Okay, so the name of your game, A Dryden Experiment. The name of your book, A Dryden Experiment. I don't own that. Okay, I don't have any rights or powers to tell people that this is or isn't a Dryden Experiment. If you are using our universe and if you're putting your material under Creative Commons, it's a Dryden Experiment. If it's got a continuity problem with the rest of the universe, it may sort of pigeonhole itself, but that doesn't mean that it's not a part of our universe and not a part of, definitely, it's certainly still a part of the experiment that we're putting. And that really brings it out right there. Boom, this is a Dryden Experiment. Boom, this is a Dryden Experiment. Label it, own it, take your part of the universe and grow it, okay? use that phrase, a Dryden experiment. Then the other two that I have that are kind of related, but are a little bit of a different topic, is there are a couple of phrases that have come out as sort of key phrases to describe the Dryden experiment. And I want to encourage you, however it fits in contextually into what you're doing, to grab a hold of these phrases and make them your own and use them how you want to. The two of them are, the first one is, you can get there from here. I really love that phrase. There's an old joke, I've heard it told about, like somebody from Canada or somebody from Maine or something, where someone asked where it is that they, I'm trying to find such and such town, and the person answers, oh, well, you can't get there from here. As if you might have to go somewhere else, and then you could get there from that somewhere else or something. But to me, that's really exactly what happens in the publishing industry. Everybody is sort of sitting around waiting for an agent to discover them, or waiting for a publishing house to pick them up, or submitting to art magazines in the hope that someone will print their book or pictures or images or whatever. I find these fabulously talented people on DeviantArt all the time who have no idea that what they are producing is great because no one's ever paid attention to them. Well, that's that myth that we need the publishing industry's permission to have access to the market. We don't anymore. Using the technologies that we have on our desktops and using our shared marketing reach, we can absolutely get into market. We can absolutely get onto Kindle. We can absolutely get onto Amazon. We can absolutely get our games onto Android. Nick Mall puts his role-playing games out through sort of fan sites that are little micro sites that sell nothing but independent role-playing games. We don't need to go there before we get into market. We can get there from here. All right. So I don't know how you use that in your context, but that's a phrase that comes up a lot in the Dryden experiment, and I want to encourage you to own it and share it around. Then the other one is sort of the original phrase that I started with that I still really believe in. It's welcome, rebel. Welcome, rebel. Sometimes I say welcome home, rebel. But those two words really, really describe what we're doing. We are very welcoming. The fact that we're Creative Commons, the fact that we have 10 billion stars in the galaxy and millions of years of future really means that there's nothing that we can't accept at all. We might want to put you over there, move you forward in time so that the context stays right. But one of the things I tell people is so fabulous about what I do for the Dryden experiment is that I put myself in a position where I never say no. I say yes to everybody. You want that? Sure, we got a time period for that. You want some of those? Sure, we can do that. Yeah, well, I don't know. We could put that in the earth in the 21st century. What about the 23rd century? Okay, well, what if we, and I never have to say no. Everybody's welcome. Come on in. I don't know what you write. I don't know what you paint. I don't know what you draw. I don't know what your passion is. I know the Dryden experiment's got a space for it. Let's do it. Welcome. And then, of course, we are the rebellion, and not just us. This access to technologies and to markets has created a really wonderful movement called the Maker Movement that is growing around the world very, very quickly. It's people, everybody from folks making their very own teddy bears to sell on Etsy, to people who are making technologies for disaster relief victims, guys designing robots in their garages. All of us using 3D printing technology, using print-on-demand technology, using the incredible computational powers of computers to make art and music and video, have the ability to just say F off to the guys who are going to, discover us. I don't need to be discovered. I'm doing just fine, right? So we are a part of a rebellion that is just sort of inherent in the changes in technology right now, and it's exciting. Sooner or later we're going to discover that we don't have to watch the same 7 Marvel characters retell their stories 953,000 times, because everybody can make a movie now, and everybody can make an interesting movie right now, and there are a lot of interesting movies out there. Spend your evening on YouTube. You're going to learn a lot more about the universe than you ever would in a movie theater, right? So welcome, rebel. We're doing great. We're open to anybody, and we certainly don't need the help from the big boys. We're doing just fine. Okay, so what we've done with this video is we've talked about the need to have an identity that is recognizable in a very broad way across countries, across languages, across different segments of Dryden. And we can absolutely do that by choosing the single symbol that we've chosen and then riffing on it wildly as you would like. We've talked about a couple of slogans, that it's okay to brand your story as a Dryden experiment, whatever it is. That's fabulous. And then a couple of sort of slogans, sayings that epitomize what it is that we do. That's what this video was for, and it's done it. I have to tell you one other thing that has shown up as a slogan that just cracks me up. I just think it's fabulous. Every time Gavin Revitt sends me an email, the end of the email says LLD exclamation point, and it stands for Long Live Dryden. That's awesome. That is the most awesome thing. I don't know that the reading public as a whole, the folks that consume Dryden, will ever understand that. But that passion that we feel, the way that we love to do what we do, Gavin sure got it down to 3 letters and an exclamation point. Long live Dryden, man. Long live Dryden. All right, this is Joel. This is my hot pink bedroom. Thanks for stopping by.